Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Rival Plays YouTube channel. Today is Friday, August 30th, and I'm back breaking down a few more plays for the college football slate of games tonight. We're going to be looking at a couple more matchups, starting with Western Michigan going up against Wisconsin. Then we're going to be looking at the TCU Horned Frogs going up against Stanford. 4 total plays for the Friday slate. Just another little appetizer before the main dish on Saturday. Hope everybody enjoys their Friday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's get into these plays from Thursday. Pretty good first day of college football. Going to break down all these plays. We're going to start with North Dakota State plus 9.5 against Colorado. A lot of people in the comments section saying Colorado this, Colorado that. Pretty good breakdown. I feel like I'll pat myself on the back for that game. But I do want to say to everybody who said Colorado is going to win, I love that in the comment section. Just keep on giving takes, dude. Just give me all your takes. Good, bad, ugly. I don't care. One of them's going to be right. And then you're going to be say to me, told you so. And I'm going to say, yeah, egg on my face. But then I can just say to you right now, you took Colorado. I took North Dakota State. That was the big game today. But I also took Jacksonville State, and they lost by 40. So really, does it really matter? Like, I got one game right, but then you can make fun of me for taking Jacksonville State. Just keep the comments coming. Like talking to you guys. Like talking college football. The North Carolina game just ended. Felt bad for number 99. Didn't catch his name. Wide right on the last kick. I believe it was 19-17 final score. So a push there with North Carolina. Big news for this one. Max Johnson, the North Carolina quarterback, looked like he got rolled up on, looked pretty severe. He got carted off. So North Carolina, after that, they couldn't do much. They were leaning on Omarion Hampton the entire game, over 95.5 yards on one of those player props. He went well over 100. I think he had 30-plus carries as well. Cam Miller, touchdown. He did score 2 in this game against Colorado. Really good game there for him. Could not find his rushing yards anywhere. I'm sure it would have hit. He had like 85 rushing yards. Probably would have been somewhere in the 50s, maybe in the 40s. But if you guys have been with this channel for a long time, you know that if I don't bet it, I don't count on the leaderboard. Win, lose, or draw. The draw is also not going to count for the leaderboard because I don't want to have 1-1-1 up there. It just doesn't look clean. So 3-1 start here. Push is a win, basically, but not going to put up there. Just got the money back. 3-1 day on Thursday. 2-1 on the player props. 1-1 on the game picks. Let's try to get the sweep here for Friday night. We're going to be looking at the MAC Conference, the Mid-American Football Conference. There's nothing better than sitting down on a Tuesday or Thursday night watching Buffalo take on Toledo. In this matchup, though, we're going to be settled for Wisconsin on the other side coming out of the Big Ten. I would really love it, man. I'd really love to take Western Michigan in this game. I just think they're going to get outclassed. We're going to take Wisconsin minus 23.5 as the play. I can't wait for Saturday because really what they've been doing over the last couple of days, it's been sort of mean because we're getting some football, right? They're giving us football. But we've been getting some games that teams really don't have a chance to win. On Saturday, we've got some big boy matchups. We have a lot of favorites. We have a lot of underdogs that could potentially win on Saturday. It should be a healthy mix of taking the points and laying the points. Can't wait for it. But again, tonight it's going to be all chalk. I'm going to take Wisconsin here, minus 23.5. Western Michigan, they are definitely going to be better this season, I think, than last season. But the only problem is that they have to open up with Wisconsin. I really think Wisconsin can do whatever they want in this game. They should be able to run all over them because Western Michigan last season, they had a pretty bad defense against the run. They are one of the most athletic teams, I guess you can say, in the Mid-American Conference. But going up against a team like Wisconsin, their athleticism, it's nothing compared to the Big Ten competition. We also have a new transfer coming in for Wisconsin, the quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke. This guy, he can throw the ball down the sideline, something that Wisconsin hasn't been able to do over the last several years has been relying on a steady passing game. We all know that Luke Fickell in that system now, he's the head coach. He really wants to air the ball out, but he's really been tied down over the last several years doing most of his damage on the ground. On the other side of the ball, Wisconsin, they won most of their games last year because of the defensive play. They do have one of the best secondaries in football, at least they should this season, and we'll see what happens here against Western Michigan. They've got a decent quarterback, I think, in Wolf. He was there last season for Western Michigan. Didn't have a great year, but he was serviceable, especially in that conference that he's in. Western Michigan, I think what they're going to try to do in this game is try to get it over as quickly as possible, keep the ball on the ground, try to win the possession game. But the Badgers last year, like I just mentioned, they were one of the top teams in the country at stopping the run. I think we're going to see Wisconsin team here come out. They're going to let Tyler Van Dyke take a couple rips down the middle of the field, see what this young man can do for the offense coming out of Miami. I like the Badgers here, minus 23.5 at home, 38-13 final score for this one. Let's go to the second play of the day. We're going to be looking at the TCU Horned Frogs going up against Stanford. Big 12 against ACC here. It is a little bit strange saying Stanford in the ACC, Pac-12 gone, but there are a ton of teams that we have to get used to in the different conferences this year. For this game, we're just going to be laying the points once again. TCU minus 9.5 is the play. Last year, neither of these teams really had a good season. I think TCU had the worst season than Stanford, not in terms of record, but I think they had more expectations. Stanford really didn't have a lot to play for, but TCU this year, they should be able to bounce back in a big way. And this has been a very competitive team over the last 20 plus years in football. They've had a lot of winning seasons. They're going to return their starting quarterback. They do have a pretty good passing attack, and going up against Stanford, they should be able to dominate them in the secondary all game long. It is going to be the sophomore Josh Hoover under center for TCU, former quarterback Chandler Morris. He's now off doing bigger and better things for the Mean Green North Texas team. So this is going to be Josh's team now. Last year, Josh had nearly 2,300 passing yards, 15 touchdowns for TCU. Hopefully, he picks off right where he left off. He was pretty good last year. TCU, they should also be pretty good in the front five this season. They got some help in the transfer portal. A couple guys from Vanderbilt, I believe, on the offensive line to protect their starting quarterback in this game. This shouldn't be too big of a task because Stanford defensively, they've not been the best overall over the last several years, especially on the front four. There will be a little bit of shakeup in the backfield for TCU. It looks like Cam Cook is going to be the starter in this game, but I would imagine they're going to have two, maybe even a three running back system. They've got a transfer from Alabama. I think his name's Trey Sanders. Offensively, TCU, they've got playmakers everywhere, so I'm not too worried about this offense. I think they're going to be able to score a lot of points. I don't see a whole lot of action on the Cardinals side either. I don't think they're going to be able to score a lot of points. TCU defensively, we're going to see what happens. I think Stanford will probably score most of their points towards the end of the game, but I like the Horned Frogs to run it up a little bit here. 41-21 final score for that one. Let's take a look at the player props for tomorrow. Again, not a huge breakdown for the player props because I don't have a lot to go off of from the past games, but we're going to take a look at Tyler Van Dyke, the new guy for Wisconsin. From everything that I can read, this is going to be the best pocket passes that Wisconsin has had over the last several seasons. And I do think Luke Fickell's going to want to throw the ball in this game, see what he looks like in the new system. This is basically a warm-up game for them. Tyler last season with Miami, he did have 2,700 passing yards, 19 touchdowns. Needs to do a better job with the interceptions this season. Had 12 last year with Miami. This Western Michigan defense is not going to be good this season, so I don't expect him to have any problems in this game. So I'm going to take him here. Over 2.5 passing touchdowns is plus money right now on FanDuel, plus 144. I think it's definitely worth a look, especially with Wisconsin wanting to figure out what this guy can do for them all season long. So that's going to be the first play there. For the second player prop today, we're going to be looking at TCU game. It's going to be the other quarterback, Jake Hoover, to go over 276.5 passing yards going up against Stanford. The Cardinals defense last year gave up nearly 300 passing yards per game. I don't think anything's going to change this season. They didn't get any better. The Horned Frogs, after a disappointing season last year, are looking to start this year off hot. And I don't think they're going to take it easy on Stanford. I really don't. TCU does have a duo or trio of running backs that we might see in this game, but I don't think we're going to be seeing them until later in the game. I really think TCU is going to come out here, try to run up the score, 28, 35 points in the first 2 or 3 quarters, establish the run game later in the game. It could go either way, though. Stanford defensively, they can't stop anything. So we're either going to see TCU run the ball a lot or we're going to see them throw the ball a lot. They will have success both ways, but I'm hoping it's going to be with the arm of Josh Hoover to go over 276.5 passing yards. Try to get him some confidence going into the next couple games. I do think 276.5 passing yards, that's an easy ask going up against a team like Stanford. He's got a ton of weapons this year. I'm going to take him here over his passing yards as the last player prop of the day. Let's go take a look at the graphic recap here. We're going to be looking at Wisconsin, minus 23.5 against Western Michigan. TCU, minus 9.5 against Stanford. Tyler Van Dyke, over 2.5 passing touchdowns going up against Western Michigan, plus money. And then Josh Hoover, over 276.5 passing yards against Stanford's player to watch. Cam Cook is really the only guy I didn't talk about. I mentioned him a little bit for TCU. They're going to have a duo of running backs. We're going to see who has the most carries in that game. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Cam Cook. And then Hayden Wolf for Western Michigan. He was okay last year. I love watching MAC football. So we'll see what he can do against Wisconsin. Probably not going to have a good game, but you never know. We'll see what happens with him. But guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA football plays and props for Friday, April 30th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.